What up, all my Giz nerds? Welcome into another episode of GizTube. It's your host, Dirt and Nadia here, and we're going through all of the shows from King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizards 2024 USA and Canada tour. Today, we are covering their show from Portland, Maine, not Portland, Oregon. They played this show on August 20th of 2024. The venue was Thompson's Point.
Looked like a cool venue, honestly. Like, there was like water right behind, which obviously we'll talk about at some point. It was outdoors. Yeah, it just looked like a cool spot. I mean, I've never been there, but from what I've heard, it's a pretty cool place to visit. So it seemed like the boys were excited to be there.
Yeah, they seemed very excited to play in Maine. And at one point, Joey said he was having deja vu from the show before because it was open air, kind of out in the field, very festival type vibes. Yeah. And they said there was once again an airport close. So if you were at this show in Portland, Maine, can you tell us like what the sound was like with the airplanes coming through? And there was also like boats on the water they could see, a canoer at one point. So now we're going to jump into the set list and then give some of our show superlatives from watching the show. Here's the set list. Nadia, once again, pretty amazing set list.
I mean, I love, the second time in a row they started with the table in the beginning. Yes. Obviously, this was only the second time they'd used it on tour, and both times they started the show with it. So that was cool. Obviously, the set list brings with it a variety of songs, and that's something we love about Giz, right? You're going to go through an electronic phase, you're going to go through a heavy metal phase, you're going to go through some blues, and then just some good old classic psychedelic rock. It's all in there. So let's break it down, go through our superlatives.
We got no satanic hip-hop for this album. I mean, for this show, though. But we did get the show before. So, yeah, we're going to go into some of our show superlatives. So let's get into it, Nadia, starting with our top songs from the show. Hit me, Nadia.
Top song. So top three, because it's impossible to choose just one. So
it is.
My top three from this show in Portland, Maine were The Silver Chord. This does count as one song, the Mind Fuzz Suite. It is 4 songs, but it does count as one. And The Dripping Tap. Those were my big three from this show. Silver Chord is, I think, it's one of my favorite songs off of that album. This was the first time on this tour they had done it live. And it was, it's so cool. Just when it all drops out and it's just Joey singing. I mean, I just like chills. I love it. I think it's an awesome song. Mind Fuzz Suite, once again, this is kind of just like this is one of my all-time favorite section of Giz songs.
I feel like anytime the Mind Fuzz Suite comes on, whether it's from a show or like just, if you're shuffling King Giz, it takes you to a new place.
Yeah, they're in your mind and you are just traveling wherever it takes you. And then The Dripping Tap had my favorite moment in there, so I obviously had to put that in my top three. And honestly, kind of just the improv jam they ended up doing while Stu was off doing his thing was super dope, and I think just continues to reiterate why we love his band so much is they can just, on the fly, just go and play, and like it's so fun. And Ambi's like impromptu lyrics that he was coming up with about Stu's adventure. It was fun.
It was great. I love your top 3 songs. I love how we typically have different songs too coming from a show. Not the first one. My first top song, I also had The Silver Chord. First time they played it on this USA Canada tour. And it is just incredible. I love how they just jam and improvise with the synth tables, especially in that song. I love Joey's little cryptic, weird ass lyrics.
Yes, in the beginning too, with that with the effect that he has on his voice.
Yeah, with the modulation on his voice. It's so cool, and I love the build-up and then just kind of the tone of that whole song, especially when they just take it into its more extended edition and just kind of riff on it for 20 minutes or so. Definitely a highlight of the show, and I thought they killed it for it being the first time they played it on this tour. My second song, which normally isn't a top song for me, no spoilers, but Flamethrower. I thought Flamethrower went incredibly hard this time around. I don't know whether it was Cavs or Joey or just the whole combination of them, but they absolutely rocked the Flamethrower tonight. And then my third song, I had actually Dripping Tap on there because I love a good Dripping Tap. I don't think they bring it out enough, but this is my favorite, once again, kind of biased. This is my favorite Giz song of all time. Had to throw in the Iron Lung. this was just another great rendition of it. A little more classic with the jams, kind of harking back to the studio version, but I will take that any day. The studio version is chef's kiss. So love the Iron Lung. Those are my top 3 songs for the show. Now for our next superlative, we are going with the P song. If you don't know what a P song is, this is the song that when you hear it come on, you might need to go take a bathroom break. Like, you are okay with participating in the song in a different way than being fully engaged.
Yeah, maybe from a porta potty.
Maybe from a porta potty, maybe from a bush, maybe from the lake.
My P song for this show, it was hard to pick a P song. But I think my P song from this show, and I even put a question mark in my notes for it because I'm still like, I don't know how to pick a P song. Trapdoor? I don't know. Maybe that's the one I go pee during. But I love that song. I love the flute solo that Stu just like whipped out. He was just, fluttering the fingers. So that's, if I have to pick one, I guess Trapdoor would be my P song.
A few reasons for that being a good P song was, one, you didn't know this, but it came right before the dripping tap. So you wouldn't have wanted to leave to go pee during the dripping tap,
True.
Especially the closer to the show. So I think that's a pretty good reason for it.
And just in the set list at that point in the show is usually that's when I would need to go pee. I'm not gonna have to go in the beginning. Middle is a little hazy, but yeah, towards the end you're kind of like, I gotta pee. Trapdoor.
Yeah, Trapdoor.
Pee into the trapdoor.
Watch out, whoever is down there. My P song was Rats in the Sky, which this one was also the live debut of the song. I guess they had never played it across the pond either. But I did think it started off a little rough for being the first time they played it, but it did recover. I did think the second half of the song was a lot better, but I still think that would be the song that I would probably head out and go pee and maybe grab a beer or so. So that's our P songs. Next up for our show superlatives, we have the best moment of the show.
All right, once again, kind of an obvious one here. Stu crowd surfing to the lake to go jump in and then making it back to the stage was so cool, so fun. Once again, I love this band so much. I love that he just decided to do that. And the band on stage was like, all right, we're just gonna improv, keep playing the dripping tap. And it was just so fun. What a cool, fun experience for all of the concert goers there. I think that'd be just such a cool thing to participate in and be a part of. Yeah, so if you were at the show, let us know how it was. It seemed awesome.
Did you get the crowd surf Stu? Did you touch his nipple? Like what body parts? That was also my best moment. Nadia, of course, it was just awesome. I was wondering kind of as you were like, was this pre-planned? Was it spur of the moment? Had Stu thought about doing this during the show? I think it was spur of the moment. If it wasn't, they were really good at making it seem like it was spur of the moment. Agreed. And yeah, I love how Stu came out and he gave directions to the crowd. He's like, I need to go to the left of the lemonade stand, and then I'm gonna get in the water, and then I'm gonna come back, and they're crowd surfing back. And yeah,
they're still playing.
Yeah, the whole band is just kind of rolling with it. They're like, all right, we have no idea how long Stu's gonna be gone, but we got to continue this jam
and
out.
And just going, take him away.
Yeah. It was great. That was clear. Yeah. I think the clear best moment from this show in Portland, Maine. Moving on to our next superlative, we have the best banter of the night. Nadia, what did you think was the best banter from the boys this night?
All right, so I loved, it was just a one-liner from Ambi. They had brought up Elon Musk and just their opinions on him. And Ambi says, his bed is a race car.
His bed is a race car.
Yes.
Best line of the night.
And
there.
I just thought that was so funny.
I had two, kind of another one from Ambi, and this goes back to when Stu was crowd surfing, but right when he says he's given the directions, he's like, I need to go to the left of the lemonade stand. Ambi starts singing lemonade, and just all of Ambi's kind of improv vocals of what Stu was doing is kind of one of the top banter moments for me. I also really liked at the very beginning of the show when Stu's just like, everyone look around, we're so lucky to be here. And he's like, canoe guy, look at the canoe guy. And I assume the canoe guy could at least hear him because there seemed to be some kind of at least eye contact towards it. So I thought that was a cool moment too.
Yeah.
Okay, next up in our show superlatives, we have best dressed member of the night. Nadia, who do you have?
Best dressed member of the night, I gotta give it to Joey once again. Joey in the gas station vibes welcome to Maine shirt. Awesome. I really hope he just walked into a Sinclair the second they crossed the Maine border and bought that. Like, it was just so funny, so just like, I don't know, unassuming, not stylish, and so that makes him best dressed.
All the reasons, ditto you. That is exactly what I have. I had Joey's Welcome to Maine shirt, which you said it probably straight out of a gas station. I don't know if they have Sinclairs up there. I've never been to Maine. We'll have to ask the Giz boys. But yeah, that one looked like straight off of a little rack, discounted, right next to some Slim Jims and some Marlboro Reds or something. Exactly. But yeah, great shirt. Just welcome to Maine. Very excited for the King Giz boys to be in Maine that day. So congrats. Okay, next segment. What do we got?
What is cookie drinking?
What is cookie drinking? As you know, the Giz boys like to partake of some beverages up on stage. Mainly, Cookie always has at least one drink on his beside his keys, so we analyzed what he was drinking for the show.
Hey, not just Cookie, they all do, but we love Cookie. We had to give him a special shout out, a special segment. This night, Cookie was double fisting. He was very excited to be in Maine. He had a Bud Light and a Pacifico.
Ooh.
So he was balancing it out between the two flavors there.
Maybe his Bud Light was still left over from the show before.
Maybe.
Because they were drinking Bud Light. I actually did not catch that one, but I did see that Ambi was drinking a good old classic canned Coca-Cola to keep those vocal cords nice and lubricated.
Got to get that caffeine and energy and sugar to make it through.
Special shout out to Lemonade. I hope they hit up the lemonade stand that was there as well. Okay. Last show superlative, we have who do you think is the MVP of this show tonight? Most valuable band member, so I guess the MVBM. That sounds too much like a weird sex kink. So we're going with MVP, most valuable player.
Most valuable player tonight was Stu. Come on. He put himself in the crowd, surfed all the way back, jumped in what he called really muddy water. Who knows?
They should have played that song maybe while he was jumping in.
It. Yeah. Came back. So I give it to Stu. That was just a really cool thing. He had to take his shirt off. He had to take his shoes and socks off, which I'm sure he didn't care about that. He had to take off his mic pack.
He was totally stripping down, and what did he say that they're about to have a big cuddle with the crowd? Yeah, I think that's what he said right before he goes crowd surfing all the way back to the lake. That was also my MVP of the night. Just when moments like that happen, you just got to give it to the members. Completely spur of the moment. Well,
it's kind of both, because also the band was in the MVP because they had to improv that whole time that he was being on this adventure. So it's kind of everyone in a sense, Stu taking on that adventure, and then the band keeping it together and still being entertaining and performing on stage while this is happening. So everyone.
Yeah, everyone. It was a great moment. So yeah, every one of the band members wins the MVP. So finally we have the overall show ranking. It was a great set. We got some of Nathan's synth tables in there to start. Finally, the Silver Chord debuted in the U.S. We got the Rats in the Sky debut. We had the, like you said, the I'm in Your Mind Fuzz suite. We had an Iron Lung. You always gotta like the set list when there's an Iron Lung in there, even though it felt like it was kind of stuck randomly in the middle of the set list in between Rats in the Sky and Let Me In the Past. It always works. And then closing with that epic dripping tap with Stew in the Water. It was a great show. They felt really hyped for it. As Joey said, it was pretty much like the Boston show, just so much sicker. Which I don't know if they were just feeling it more that night. You could tell Stu was really in the groove.
Hey, it was the best night of Joey's life. And he's never said that before.
It's always the best night of Joey's life. So Nadia, what would you give the overall ranking of this show?
All right. In honor of the live debut of Rats in the Sky, I'm giving this show 96 cats named Bruno.
Wow. 96?
96
Can
cats
you believe
named
it?
Bruno.
A 96 cats named Bruno.
Mm-hmm.
Whew. That's pretty hard to beat.
I know.
That's a pretty top one. I thought this one was overall pretty good, so I gave it 8.5 Gila Monsters.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Man.
it was close to 9, but just with the little Rats in the Sky hiccup, I thought 8.5. of the Gila Monsters was really the way to go.
Wow, that's a big one. It's a big one.
So yeah, that is it for our show Superlatives with the Portland, Maine show. We'll be coming at you next with their next show on the tour. It is GizTube. If you were at the show, let us know what you thought. What were your favorite songs? What were your superlatives of everything we mentioned? Leave them in the comments below. We love King Giz. We thank them for this. We thank the boys who streamed all their shows live. It's just great to be a part of this world right now. Very lucky. Very lucky to be here.
Thanks, guys, for watching. We'll catch you next time.
Peace out.